I'm recording this in 2021, and obviously, a lot of places nowadays don't like to take cash because of how dirty and how many diseases apparently it can spread, which is actually not so true. But I recently conducted some business with somebody on Craigslist, and they had the same sentiment and asked me if I could send them money through this app instead. And when we opened the app and entered the amount, it asked me if I wanted to tip. Now, what was really ironic was that he didn't have a mask on. He didn't seem to be very conscious about social distancing, and he's worried about cash. I don't think he was worried about cash. I think the app asked me if I wanted to give a tip. I think he was trying to throw me and see if I would give a tip. I didn't. And he rushed me out after he realized I didn't give him a tip. He was using the current situation as an excuse to see if people might give him a tip. It was kind of funny when I saw the reason why he didn't want cash. It had nothing to do with. It was really funny. When I was 6 years old, my mom had picked me up from school one day, and she was going to have lunch with some of her friends at this buffet restaurant. But she told me to tell the waiter that I was 5 years old so that I could eat for free. And later on in my life, I remember that incident because it was one of the few times I had some fun with my mom's friends. And I asked my mom why she would come up with such a stupid idea. She's not cheap. I mean, she usually likes her character a whole lot better than saving a few bucks. And my mom said it was actually her friend's idea, and she wanted to appease her friend. And she gives into social pressure like that a lot. And my mom explained that one time she and her friend had gone to a different restaurant, and or they had eaten out a few times together as well. And her friend would often, as they were leaving, pretend to go back to the table saying they had forgotten something. And my mom suspected they were taking the tip back. They didn't want a tip. And I don't mind giving a tip. I just don't want to give a tip when it's not really warranted. When was the last time you gave somebody a tip after buying a used game board from somebody on Craigslist, right? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? And so when I get good service, I don't mind tipping. Usually when I eat out, I have to ask about food ingredients. I have dietary restrictions. Sometimes when the waiter goes above and beyond. One time I had one waiter who went to the kitchen to take pictures for me to show me that they really care about not cross-contaminating everything. Here in 2021, maybe next time they'll take a picture to emphasize how much social distancing they have in between their staff and how they always wear a mask and all that. You know, if the waiter goes above and beyond like that, I don't mind tipping. I was traveling in Warsaw, Poland one time, and I was talking to this one waitress, asking her for some advice on how to mingle with the locals over there in Warsaw. And the following day I was traveling to Gdansk, Poland, and she had mentioned some interesting she gave me a few pickup lines on how to talk to the girls there, and she had mentioned a few good places in Gdansk that I should go. And so on my last day in Warsaw, I gave her about 300 zloty. I had a lot of loose change anyway that I wasn't going to spend anywhere, and that's about as much as she makes in a month. So she was very happy about it. See, I don't mind tipping when it's warranted, but when I meet somebody up on Craigslist to buy a used game board for the game Patchwork because I'm programming it, and it's $4, and he's asking for a tip. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then he's giving the excuse that he's worried about cash when he doesn't even want to wear a mask. He's just trying to weasel a few bucks out of it. It was really funny, though.